Well, I guess let's get started.
You can find us at BWSSpodcast.com and on Facebook at BWSS Podcast. This is because we said so. Let's start the show.
And now, recording from beautiful and sexy Miami with your hosts, Seth and Laz and Research Lucas. It's because we said so.
Sure is, folks. It's because we said so. We got Seth over here in mic 1. We got Laz over there in mic 2.
Nope.
We got Lucas in mic 3.
Hey.
And then coming back to see us again, we got Elodie in mic 4. Hey. So what's up, man? Welcome back. Or what's up, woman? Welcome back.
Thank you.
Happy to be back.
I'm so excited to be here.
That's awesome. Let me turn you down just a tad. Channel 2.
Maybe I got too excited.
No, that's good. It's better for you to be too loud than not loud enough, because if I have to turn you down, that's better than me having to turn you up and all of the other sounds up that come with it. All right, cool. So, you can get us at our website, BWSSpodcast.com, Twitter, Facebook, BWSS Podcast. Instagram is BWSS Cast. And I feel like our Instagram is we're probably getting the most momentum. I try to work on Twitter. We suck. I suck. It's just, we have a social media manager who manages it. And because I think I'm not active, I'm most active probably on the Instagram. So topics we're going to discuss today, we're going to be discussing the COVID vaccine, all of the technology that's coming with the one from Pfizer and Moderna. It's a brand new technology, hasn't been used before, and they're both really, really effective. One has a little bit of a downside, however. The fall of Puerto Rico's large dish radio telescope. I don't know if you guys heard, but that big one that you saw in Puerto Rico, in GoldenEye, and in Contact, it's unfortunately falling apart. Protesters doused Thailand Police headquarters with paint. Anybody hear this one? Dude, it looks like a Jackson Pollock. They just went up there with buckets of paint, spray paint, and just completely covered reachable areas of the headquarters there. And then video games make us happy. So this is one for Elodie. She loves it. She's definitely a big fan, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I'm waiting for the PlayStation 5.
That's it. PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get it. I'm more of an Xbox guy. We all know that, but that's okay. That's okay. And India's hidden COVID deaths. So there's a doctor in India, the country India, and who ended up doing his own research into how many deaths really were attributed to it. We'll get into that real quick as well. And then lastly, we're going to discuss the world's most difficult and deadliest journeys. So there's a lot of them out there. Some of them are hundreds of miles long. Some of them are 2 miles long. But we're going to go through some of the deadly journeys out there, the treks out there you can take all across the world. And I took the ones that I thought were most interesting. There were a bunch like here in America that it was just a long trek and it was just a lot of rocks.
You went on these journeys yourself?
Hell no. God. Some of these, though, I thought it'd be great if we had the wherewithal and the funds and maybe the cojones to go on a couple of these, because you can buy tours for every one of them and have a guide take you and stuff like that. So, and that's pretty much it. I want to jump into shout outs. I wanted to move shout outs up a little bit moving forward, just because I feel like it doesn't take that long. And I'd like to, have the people that we appreciated, the entities we appreciate, hear them a little bit earlier. So with that being said, I want to go into Brazil, shout you guys out. So we finally got Brazil to come in and see us and listen to us. So thank you very much. We appreciate that. That's pretty much all I got. Laz, any shout outs out there?
Shout out to my brother who was supposed to come down, but I guess he can't come anymore because of all the
COVID,
and his hospital doesn't want him to come. He was originally supposed to go take an out of the country trip, and they was like,
Sure.
"You're definitely not going out of the country."
No.
Well, it was recommended. It's not like they said you can't. And then he's telling his patients don't travel. So then he looks like he's being a hypocrite or something like that. So
that sucks.
yeah. So
Well,
shout out to my brother Daryl.
with that, shout out to my brother who was supposed to come down here. We had a photo shoot set up. We were, we actually had three photo shoots actually We had a studio one. We had an outdoors one. We had one that was going to happen while we were here in the studio. Lucas is coming down for it. I had to call, the photographer she's a friend of ours. I mean, she knows once things get lifted, we're gonna make this happen. But yeah, my brother couldn't come down too. So, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna shout out to my brother.
Okay, go
He
for
lives
it.
here, and I don't see him. So
Okay, fair enough. Any other shout outs out there, Elodie?
no.
No? Okay. All right. Lucas, any shout outs over there? No. None. Okay. All right. Well, if that's it, I guess.
It's time for quick news.
That's right, folks. It's everyone's favorite segment, quick news. I'm going to jump in. BBC, Rick Moranis. So, suspect arrested over random street attack. Did you guys hear about this when Rick Moranis just got punched in the face in New York? Do you guys know who Rick Moranis is?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He was the keymaster in Ghostbusters. All that? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Laz, no?
I know
Yes.
who it is, but I can't. I know the movie. I know
Okay.
the actor. I can't think of it right
Anyway, so he got punched in the face, and they caught a little bit of it on video. He was a guy who was just at the top of his career, and then his wife passed away, and he decided he was just going to stay and be with his kids. So he just ever since then, that's all he's really done. It's just a really beautiful and a heartwarming story. And the fact that somebody who's wearing an I Love New York hat, living up in New York, or a sweatshirt hoodie, someone just came and punched him in the face. So a man has been arrested in connection with last month's attack on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids star Rick Moranis. New York Police Department tweeted on Saturday that a suspect has been apprehended and charged thanks to the efforts of an eagle-eyed sergeant. I tried to figure out what that meant. Moranis, 67, was walking near Central Park on the morning 1st of October when he was suddenly punched in the head by a man wearing an I Love New York hoodie. Okay, so the guy was wearing it, not him, sorry. The man was named by Associated Press as 35-year-old Marquise Ventura. Security footage of the attack on Moranis showed man running up and knocking him to the ground. So the actor reported pain to his head, hip, and back. And yeah, Ghostbuster. I mean, he was just one of those
older now, right?
Yeah, 67 years old.
Ooh,
So-
that's felony on his senior.
Is it?
Yeah, anything over 65 is felony assault on a senior.
I've never heard of
In
that.
every state, is that federal or?
That's at least.
Lucas.
I know here if you commit a crime against elderly, your crime is it's harsher punisher because it's the older person. I didn't know it was
Sure.
everywhere.
No doubt. Especially if you know that you're doing that. So all
Was it
right,
a
well,
fucking joke or just being a dumbass?
yeah, all right. Well, Elodie, Guinness World Record. What you got?
Oh, my Guinness World Record. Well, we're going to talk about some men in India and what they did. They built a 9-foot longer marker pen.
What's a marker pen?
Like the black pens.
They built a 9-foot
yeah.
long marker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess
I thought it was kind of just out of
we can
ordinary.
applaud that, right? I think that's pretty cool.
We have another one,
Wait,
quick
a 9-foot
one.
marker. So,
What are they doing with it?
I guess it has to be operational, right?
Yeah,
Okay, that's pretty cool. So the world's longest marker.
on the Guinness record,
Okay.
2020.
All right, 9 feet. It's a long marker, folks. Okay. And you said you had something else?
Oh, the tallest teenager made it as well,
Okay.
and he's going to.
I
be,
saw that. He's
yeah,
like 14.
and he's like 7 feet and 3.
Wow.
Poor kid. I mean, could you imagine? How do you sit in a desk at school?
14.
I mean,
Yeah.
imagine the lunch that kid has to pack. Good Lord. He probably has to eat 3 or 4 meals. Poor kid. All right. I did see that. Unfortunately, when you grow up that tall, that early, you tend to have a lot of health problems later on. So hopefully he'll be able to maintain that. Maybe he doesn't grow too much more and he can play for the NBA. All right, cool. So any other world records to report?
No, there's those two for now.
Okay, good deal. All right. So BBC, Thailand protesters drench police headquarters with paint. Thousands of protesters in Thailand converged on the police headquarters in Bangkok on Wednesday night, defacing the building a day after violent protests left dozens injured. Angered by the government's decision to reject a constitutional reform proposal and alleged police violence, demonstrators hurled buckets of colorful paint and sprayed graffiti on the Royal Thai Police headquarters. building facade. Police barricaded themselves inside the station and did not intervene. Thailand has been rocked by student-led protests for months, with protesters demanding the constitutional reforms and the removal of the country's prime minister and changes to the monarchy, because it is like a king and queen type of situation there. At least 40 people were injured as protesters hurled smoke bombs and bags of paint at police, who retaliated with water cannon and tear gas. Protesters have been attempting to reach the country's parliament, where lawmakers were debating possible changes to the constitution. The proposal called for more transparent and democratic government. On Wednesday evening, the proposal was rejected, prompting renewed protest. Giant inflatable rubber ducks made an appearance. So when they were doing the tear gas and the water cannons, they were using these massive, like, inflatable ducks to protect themselves, kind of like the umbrella movement we saw in Hong Kong. So, I mean, I'll put a picture up, but it's just doused. Like the sign, like just completely covered with
They
paint.
can't even fix it. Probably.
What's that?
They probably can't even fix it. Well, they
No, I
can,
don't think
but,
so. I mean, I think if it's that bad, honestly, turn it into a monument, to be honest with you. I feel like
this is
that'd
what made
be
it change.
dude, it's really, really bad. So, and here we go. AP, huge Puerto Rican radio telescope to close in a blow to science. National Science Foundation announced Thursday that it will close the huge telescope at the renowned Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico in a blow to scientists worldwide who depend on it to search for planets, asteroids, and extraterrestrial life. The independent federally funded agency said it's too dangerous to keep operating the single dish radio telescope. An auxiliary cable broke in August and tore a 100-foot hole in the reflector dish and damaged the dome above it. Then on November 6th, one of the telescope's main steel cables snapped. NSF officials noted that even if crews were able to repair all the damage, engineers found that the structure would still be unstable long term. The telescope was built in the 1960s with money from the Defense Department amid a push to develop anti-ballistic missile defenses. In its 57 years of operation, it endured hurricanes, endless humidity, and a recent string of strong earthquakes. It is 1,000 feet wide, or 300 meters for all you Celsius time fans. It was featured in Contact, the film with Jodie Foster, and James Bond's GoldenEye. It was a dish along with a 900-ton platform that held above it. So, you know, it's definitely a freaking bummer. We're bummed out about that. But, you know, the other one, actually, China is building a massive one. Like, it's going to be a lot freaking bigger than this one. So it's going to be huge. So we'll see. We'll see if that one's operational yet. All right, Laz, you got some for Apple phones?
Yeah. Every time Apple does a software update, we're all like bothered about whatever goes on.
Sure. Yeah.
So
yeah.
randomly, I used to see the look an orange dot or a green dot on my phone. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't really care. But my friend was like, "Yo, I keep seeing this orange dot, but it's not there all the time." So I saw this in Popular Mechanics. See the orange and green dot at the top of your phone. Here's what it means. Basically,
They're tracking you.
No, it's not that.
Dun, dun.
It's basically letting you know when something is actually using the microphone or your video. So
Sure.
if it's yellow, that means they're using your microphone. If it's green, they're using the video. So what happened was, I guess, it was maybe Instagram or something like that was accessing people's cameras and microphones. They said it was supposedly a glitch. But they said they fixed it. So what happened was you'd be on the phone and you'd see that dot on and they'd be like, why is the dot on for no reason? Whenever you're using anything, you know, you guys use Facebook and Instagram. So when
Sure.
you record, you record. When you're not recording, you don't record.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for that dot to be up there. That's it.
Huh.
Nothing crazy. But it's for our security, so we know. And you can change the settings. So like once you see that dot, that means
It's for your protection.
yeah. If you're on the phone and you see that dot, it makes sense. But if it's just my phone's just sitting here on the counter and like there's a whole bunch of dots on the screen, it makes no sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what this dot looks like because I haven't seen it. So it's just a dot on the top of your screen.
I'll
Just
show
to
you.
Little, yeah.
Like
put it up on the camera.
Oh yes, it's like this.
Yeah.
But I'll show you like right
Oh,
now.
I gotcha.
If I put the camera on, like right now, there's no dot, right?
Okay.
And then if I put this on, then you'll see the green dot on the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. All right. All right, BBC, India coronavirus, how a group of volunteers exposed hidden COVID-19 deaths. Since March, a group of volunteers in India's southern state of Kerala have trawled local papers and news networks for reports on deaths due to COVID-19. Led by Dr. Arun N. Madhavan, Madhavan, probably. Matt Haven's out, but Madhavan, a general medicine physician. They checked the district editions of several local newspapers and followed 5 news channels unfailingly every day. They took notes on every death reported in the news and obituary notices and diligently entered the details in a spreadsheet. It is a useful method of counting, said Prabhat Jha of the University of Toronto, who led India's ambitious million death study, one of the largest studies of premature mortality in the world. As of last Saturday night, the volunteers had counted 3,356 deaths in the infection in Kerala, which reported its first COVID-19 case in January, but the official death toll was 1,969. So that's a difference of roughly like 1,400 people. 1,400 people. We are missing a lot of COVID deaths here, said Dr. Madhavan, who told me he reckons the state has recognized a little more than half of the deaths caused by COVID and attributed the rest to underlying conditions or comorbidities. So comorbidities is like the sicknesses that happen as a result of a sickness. So you get diabetes. There's other stuff that can happen because you had diabetes, but chances are you died of diabetes, but they could attribute it to something else.
So if it's COVID, your heart failed. But
yeah,
that's not what happened.
Exactly. And we've been talking about how Russia has been doing the exact same thing. Like Russia's deaths compared to their infections is just so lopsided. Same thing with China, but China's not reporting anything. So I'd imagine.
Here, there were just anybody, if you went to the hospital and died.
Yeah, everyone, they're over-reporting here, so they say. Definitely not under-reporting. Too much money to be made. Imagine that in a capitalist country.
That's crazy.
So the India's tally of recorded coronavirus cases exceeds 8.9 million, the second highest in the world. It has reported more than 130,000 deaths. It is well below the 1.5% among the lowest in the record. 3 patients, all men between age 65 and 78, came into his clinic, and that is Madhavan, with symptoms and died in the hospital in October during the treatment. Their deaths didn't come up on the media or official count. All of us are missing deaths, but the government is missing them the most. Senior government official who preferred to remain unnamed told me that he estimates the state had underreported deaths by 30%. So it's happening all over the place. Not a freaking secret. Lucas, Philly, what you got?
So everybody knows bad things happen in Philly.
Yeah, we do.
What do you mean bad things happen? Is that like
you didn't hear that? That's right.
That's a thing?
That's right. Yeah. It's something that freaking Trump put out there. It was one of his brilliant statements.
6 ABC, Philadelphia Sheriff's Office missing more than 200 guns.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
The Sheriff's Office.
Whoa.
The Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
100 service firearms is on the whereabouts of 100 service firearms is unknown, along with another 109 personal firearms that were either surrendered to or seized by the department. Sure. They actually do have evidence that they were traded in at gun shops.
Okay.
But they are now just putting in state-of-the-art security systems.
Oh, so they didn't have the security systems before, and most of the guns were traded.
Some of them, at least.
Was there like evidence. An audit or something?
This was inherited by the new the new sheriff that was just sworn in this past January.
Okay.
And it's not the only problem this office is having.
I'm sure.
It's the only one listed in this article.
Because bad things happen in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yeah, like throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. And
sure. Dude, Santa Claus was being a dick. He was freaking drunk. That's it. You can't be a douchey Santa Claus and expect,
That. That's all.
Santa Claus now, bro. Santa Claus now. They have no job. Could you imagine?
Oh yeah.
Santa Claus.
How's that going to work? Plexiglass, I heard, right?
Yeah, but how are you going to take a picture of Santa?
Yeah.
Even though, I'm glad Layla doesn't care about that. Well, Layla's old now.
With a mask, you think?
No, you can't do it.
Santa with a mask.
Fuck no.
Santa's creepy enough. Alicia, what was it? Last year, she wasn't sitting with Santa.
She wasn't on that.
So we finally had to sit with her, and it was like Santa, Elena, me, and then holding Alicia to this side. She didn't want any parts of Santa whatsoever.
Bro, you gotta, as a kid, Santa looks weird, bro.
He does look weird. It'd be different if you let the person walk up to Santa, but it's always gotta take the picture. Bloop, here you go. And
then the Santa,
other kids
Santa
are waiting.
picks up the kid,
that's not working.
Yeah, come
Yeah,
on.
at
And
all.
you guys see, she goes out. She goes to like the beach and shit. So
Sure.
like, she knows what people look like.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, true.
It ain't Santa.
Although there's a lot of masks going on. She's gotten used to it. I remember when we first started wearing the mask. She'd be like, what is going on? Like, imagine people who are like hard of hearing and they have to lip read. You're done. You're done. That's
Oh,
it.
Shit, fuck.
How do you think I feel at work?
Why?
Hey,
How low I do speak.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
oh, is that how you speak all the time?
He has like 18 compressors and like 4 limiters on his fucking audio chain. Oh yeah, we got to get your compressor set up.
Yeah.
I forgot. You got to remind me. I keep forgetting about it. I bought him a compressor. Anyway, all right. CNN Health. Playing video games may make you happier. Study finds. Isn't that interesting?
Interesting.
Although it does say that, it's these 2 video games and they're fun games, and playing video games may improve your mental health and make you happier, according to a scientific study that used industry data from gaming companies to analyze players' well-being. The research by the University of Oxford analyzed the effects of playing 2 popular video games, Nature's Animal Crossing New Horizons and Plants vs. Zombies by Electronic Arts Battle for Neighborville, which is kind of like a fun, cartoony like shooter, and found that time spent playing the games was associated with players reporting that they felt happier. The study used data and survey responses for 518 players of Plants vs. Zombies and 2,756 players of Animal Crossings. The game's developers shared anonymous data about the people's playing habits. The researchers surveyed those gamers separately about the well-being. So it goes on to say, like, listen, these are fun games, and they are like Animal Crossings. You're on an island with a bunch of fuzzy animals, and you have to make friends. So, I mean, it's not a freaking secret that some video games
I
make
know.
you.
I used to play. Me and my brother used to play video games all the time, even when we were like, when we were both in college.
Sure.
We had fun.
Yeah.
That was the greatest time.
It depends, though. If you go online, like
Online is
what
different,
Elodie
though.
was referring to, we were here last time, like Call of Duty, and you're getting your ass whipped. Dude, it's frustrating.
Yeah,
You
that's
fucking
different. It's not the
throw
same.
your controller through the TV. I've never been that guy because I just don't play those types of games. I've never been competitive with that. I'm more of an RGB, single player, MMOs, stuff like that. So
But even the online stuff is fun.
it is fun, but
They made
it's
it
just not
serious.
stressful unless you're
Yeah,
just
some people it's
freaking
stressful for some people.
wiping on a boss like left and right, and money for repairs and all that shit. What's that, Lucas?
Our nephew goes off when he's not winning the game.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Yeah, and, like there's been a few times where I've had to tell him to shut it off.
How old is he?
How old is he?
9.
9. I got you.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I've never. Lucas and I, we game a lot. I mean, when we were playing Borderlands, but we never really have issues. We usually play on hard, and between the 2 of us, we're fairly skilled. But when you jump online, you just realize you're not that good at all.
nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
All right. This is my last one. BBC Saudi Arabia, first women's football league kicks off. So, I mean, they just were able to actually watch, believe it or not, in 2018. They're finally legally able to go into the stadium and watch football or soccer, as we call it here in fucking America. Just got them allowed to like drive. So we'll applaud Saudi Arabia for sure. For making these steps. They have a long way to go. A lot of persecution. A lot of people getting locked up for their opinions and stuff like that. A lot of, there's a woman who literally was arrested for a video she put out of her dancing in Saudi Arabia. But we'll give them this one. So more than 600 players for 24 teams based in Riyadh, Jeddah, and Dammam are competing for the Championship Cup. The opening matches on Tuesday evening were not televised, but Saudi media hailed them as another step towards women's participation in sport. It was only 2018 that women were first allowed to watch football matches in stadiums in the Gulf Kingdom. For many years, the authorities cited cultural norms and religious teachings in denying women the right to participate in sporting activities. Conservative critics warned that opening sports to them would lead to immorality. So, yeah, you let the women watch sports, they're going to start becoming immoral.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's
how?
great. They can't
is
do
great.
much over there as it is, and at least now they can. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's
But like,
course.
what did they think was gonna happen?
The immorality. Oh, my God.
Like what?
Like, that's just gonna be the destruction of civilization
They're
as
gonna
we know
start
it.
talking to each other. They're gonna be mean to their husbands
Oh
when
my
they get home.
God,
Like
so
who
ridiculous.
knows? Like
Can you
what
imagine
the fuck
not
is
being
that
able to
about?
like go with your man or your woman or whatever to a concert or a game or whatever? Give me a fucking break. The teams will compete in their respective cities before participating in the final nationwide championship stage, where the championship cup will be awarded. Total prize is 500,000 Saudi riyals, about $133,000. First international women's golf tournament also took place in Saudi Arabia this week. So
Cool.
Bravo.
yeah, no, we'll give it to him. Like I said, we'll give it to him. You know, step in the right direction
Everybody
for
else.
sure.
Everybody. Remember, we've all been there. We all have to move up.
We've all been
Progress.
there for sure.
Every country. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
We had our issues too, but we're certainly a lot further along than that.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Big time.
All right. So with that being said, Lucas, you ready?
It's time for. Wait a minute. What the fuck?
It is time for WTF News. What you got, Lucas?
All right, this time it comes out of Russia.
Russia? Okay.
Yep. Russian man arrested. Yeah. Russian man arrested under anti-terror law after talking about philosophy of yoga.
What? So he was arrested for talking about the philosophy of yoga?
And what,
Yeah,
where?
there's a-
It's kind of like the guy who was talking about, like in Xinjiang, who was saying, don't swear, be a better Muslim, and he got arrested. Wow. Okay, go for it.
A Russian yoga teacher has been arrested for illegal missionary activity under controversial new laws designed to combat terrorism. Dmitry Ugay,
Okay.
U-G-A-Y,
Sure.
U-G-A-Y,
Okay.
is said to have fallen foul of the country's anti-terror measure, dubbing a Big Brother law by Edward Snowden while giving a talk about the philosophy of yoga at St. Petersburg Festival. Because it falls under the government's view on religion and extremist groups that falls under the non-traditional religions.
So just teaching yoga and he got arrested had to be, they want him for something else for sure.
Well, he was accused by a fellow festival goer, Nel Nazbulin, of recruiting young people to join his pseudo-Hindu organization.
Okay. All right. Unbelievable. There's a lot of weird arrests going on right now.
This
So-
is in Russia, right?
Yeah, in
in
fact,
Russia.
so Putin actually, I think I even have it. Do I have it here? No, I didn't put it in here, which is good. I'll just talk about it. So Putin actually is changing, and Russia is going to help him, the people who put in power, changing the constitution or the law or whatever. So when he leaves office, he can't be sued or, I don't know, arrested or investigated or anything. Like fraud, like as soon as he leaves, can't be prosecuted in any way, shape, or
So
form.
he has to get prosecuted now, which is not going to happen.
Well, he's not going to get prosecuted at all, but like literally changing the law. So if you're president, you can't be prosecuted. Unbelievable what's going on over there. So, but at the same time, unfortunately, not a surprise. So, all right. So we put our deleted scenes on YouTube. So anyone who's missing them up, I actually have number 37 scenes ready to go. I got to put them up probably later on today. But anyway, any last minute thoughts before we take our first break? Anyone?
No?
Anyone? All right. Gonna take our first break. Laz still has them on. Holy shit.
Oh, shit.
Boom.
I was supposed to take him off earlier, too.
back in. So, everybody, any
Hi.
questions? Any thought? What's that? You good? Do you need a fan?
No, I just so I don't get like shiny. No, I'm good.
little
Thank
warm.
you. I would tell you.
I got one. Laz got one.
You got a fan?
Hell yeah.
I got 10 of them.
I need it.
No, we got one on like right now.
Yeah. Fine.
So it's wrapped around my belt. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna jump in the COVID vaccine. We want to talk about the technology, the science, like all the stuff that's makes this one different, and some of the positives and the negatives and all that. And The Economist is where I'm getting most of my information. I also got some from the Moderna website, because it's basically Pfizer and Moderna who have the two vaccines going right now, and BioNTech was going along with Pfizer. They kind of put it together. On November 9th, Pfizer and BioNTech, two firms working as the partners on a vaccine against COVID-19, announced their vaccine appeared to be more than 90% effective. Vaccines against viruses used to be based on the virus's particles. They're meant to stymie. So what they would do is they would take basically the vaccine, and they would take out a lot of the genetic material that would make it harmful, and they would inject it into you, and then your immune system would be like, holy shit, we got to go attack it. Exactly. Or sometimes it would be like, something that was kind of close to it or something like that. But what they're doing today is a little bit different. Today's vaccine development is based on viral genomes. Researchers look for a gene which describes a protein the immune system is likely to recognize. Then they put that gene into new context. In SARS-CoV-2, which is the COVID-19, that's what causes it, the genome was published on January 10th. So last January 10th, the entire genome for the COVID-19 strain, SARS-CoV-2, was published so they could get to work. Understanding its structure on the basis of their experience with other coronaviruses, would-be vaccine makers immediately honed in on the gene for the distinctive spike protein, which is the virus's membrane is studded with. And if you've seen the COVID-19 image, it's like a red ball with all these little spikes coming out of it. We've all seen that image. So that's what they're talking about. And what that does is that's what allows it to attach to other cells. And what's interesting about a virus is viruses are so small. In fact, they're so small that bacteria can catch a virus, which is freaking unbelievable. So super, super small. And what they did was they found the gene that is responsible for creating that spike, and they isolated it. So BioNTech researchers made an mRNA version of it that could be injected into the body in tiny capsules made of lipids. There, it would lead cells to produce the spike protein, and the immune system would then take note. So essentially what they did was understanding its structure and the basis of their experience. So what they did was they basically took this gene and they injected it into the body to where the immune system would attack it, and they put it on another virus. So they took this gene, put it on another virus, put it in there, and the immune system's like, we got to get this virus, we got to attack that gene. And that's the exact same gene that is used to create the spike on COVID-19. So the Oxford version of the spike gene was instead put into the genome of a harmless adenovirus originally found in monkeys. The vaccine developed by Johnson & Johnson also uses a adenovirus approach, as does Sputnik 5. And Sputnik 5, that's the Russian version. So Sputnik 5, they're doing the same stuff that we've found to be pretty successful over here. So we'll see if it works out for the Russians as well. So essentially, that's what they've done. They took this gene, they isolated it, they either put it on another virus and injected it, or they just injected it straight in, and that's how they got the immune system to start responding to it.
They were already testing the Sputnik 5, right?
What's that?
The Sputnik 5 with the Russian one?
That one, yeah, dude, that one they put on like lightning fast approval. And a lot of companies now, they're starting phase 2 before phase 1 is finished, starting phase 3 before phase 2 is finished.
I didn't bring it up for quick news, but they were trying to do an emergency use of this one too, for the Pfizer and biotech. They were seeking emergency use before the last trial phases.
Sure.
Pfizer formally asked U.S. regulators Friday to allow emergency use of its COVID vaccine, starting the clock on a process that could bring them limited first shots as early as next month, and eventually an end to the pandemic.
Yeah,
from what they say. You already.
But there's still a lot of.
Yeah, but before they're done with the trial, they want to do it. I don't know if that's. I wouldn't. I don't know.
I think they needed a 60-day period to make sure, like you said, stage 1, 2, 3.
So with stage 4 hasn't been hasn't happened yet. And the thing with stage 4 is that's where it's like, okay, we're going to inject a whole bunch of fucking people out there in the wild and see what happens.
That's what they want to do. But they're telling people, they're not being transparent about it. You take it, but
what
there could be side effects. We don't know them yet.
Well, there's going to be side effects.
Exactly.
Actually, I have a guy here who was one of the people that was involved in the research. There's always going to be side effects.
You know somebody that does it?
No, it was an article that I read.
Oh, okay.
So that's the thing. There are going to be side effects, but at the same time, there's going to be side effects to any fucking vaccine.
Yeah, but you're talking about a vaccine that was made in how long?
Yeah.
10 months instead of
exactly
10 years.
I mean, that's
well,
just
we think 10 months. It might have been like longer than that.
Exactly.
Not the research, the science for what they've done today has been around for a while. It's not the first time it's been used. It's just the first time that they've put a shit ton of money into it. There's a lot of different vaccines going out there, but I read 10, 15 years ago, I read a lot of science articles and magazines and journals and shit. And they found this out a long time ago. One of the things they were, the protein that allows for the cell membrane to be created to keep they're thinking about it going against and attacking all kinds of different proteins. And what you do is you insert that into the RNA. And what the RNA is, that's what tells the DNA what to make. So you basically put in the RNA, and it's the messenger mRNA, mRNA, which is the messenger RNA. That's what tells the DNA, what actually to make. So they put it in there, and then every copy is made after that. But this is the first time they're actually attacking it quite in that way, where they're just like putting a bunch of money into it, and that's how they're able to do it so quickly. They are skipping steps. They are taking risks for sure. But given what's going down, I feel like they kind of have to. Like, if it's safe, would you take it, Elodie?
No.
No? Not at all. Even if they're like, it's safe, everyone thinks it's safe, blah, blah, blah. No? Okay.
No.
And
it's not because I'm against it.
Sure.
No.
Okay. Laz, we already talked about it. You're going to take it. Lucas is going to wait to make sure it's safe. He's going to wait for me to fucking take it.
I'm going to take it. But here's the thing. By the time we get it, it's definitely going to be safe or not. We're going to know.
Yes, exactly.
Because first responders are going to get it. All the nurses and the doctors, they're going to get it first.
Now, Elodie, let me ask you a question. What happens when jobs and schools and shit like that require you to have a vaccine to go? Then what are you going to do? Elodie?
You should have, I think you should have the choice. You can't force.
It's not a force. Like
you can claim
because
religious
if you want,
for some of them.
I'm talking about if you're going, like, let's say you're applying.
So you're going to tell me that they'll be okay.
Now, a new job. Let's say you're applying for a job that you really want, but one of the job requirements is like, sorry, anybody who works there has to get the vaccine. Because, for example, like when
it's going to happen.
Like when you have all the kids have to have like a certain amount of shot. I can't even remember now. Well, you're gonna see Seth soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's already getting them.
It's I'm pretty sure by the time she goes to school, she already has everything. Yeah.
I had to take her to get blood drawn. Talk about like one of the most awful fucking things. Taking your 18-month old baby girl to the doctors, holding her. I mean, Elena, she's like, "There's no fucking way I'm taking her to do this." So I had to.
No, but it didn't even bother her though, right?
Yeah, it did. They had to stick a needle in her and draw blood out. They go in there. Yeah, they stuck a needle in her.
This is not the thing.
Cry. They stuck a fucking needle in her.
I'm trying to remember what age when they was.
So go in. I gotta hold her like this. She's screaming. Like they had to bring in like 2 extra fucking nurses
to hold her.
They get the vial. I'm watching it fill up. It's like the slowest fucking thing, and the vial finishes. Like thank God, and they pull out another fucking vial. I'm like, holy shit, you're just going to bleed my fucking daughter to death? So we go fucking leave. I go downstairs. I put her in the fucking car seat, and she's missing a fucking shoe. So I'm just like, really? So now
go back in there.
I got to go back upstairs. We come out of the elevator. She's getting fucking nervous. Holy crap. We're going back in the fucking room again. Luckily, they're like, here's your shoe. Like, they knew we would be coming back up for it. Dude. So.
I'm trying to.
I mean, you know what, Laz? I don't know.
What?
I really don't know if I just don't know anymore.
The job is pimp enough, probably.
I mean, I feel like I'm stuck in the middle of, I don't know.
Well, that's why I mean, I'm
That's why I said I'm not
not going to take the
against it.
vaccine before I feel comfortable with taking the vaccine.
Well,
If they tell me
yes,
my job tells me
I
I
would
have to
definitely
take it.
think a lot more, see what happens to people, and because we've all been vaccinated, especially in Europe. When you're born, you're forced to have this vaccine, and
Yeah,
I'm
several.
okay. Several. So I don't, and like you were saying, like science is science, So I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure. All right. Well, the fact that there are more vaccines on the way matters for a number of reasons. So, in other words, there's more than one company that's having success with this stuff, in this country and worldwide. So, one is that despite this week's good news, the Pfizer vaccine is not yet guaranteed approval. For one thing, its safety needs need to be more fully ascertained. Just like what you're saying, Elodie, like they're not sure how safe it is. And it could be, if someone's Asian or African American or Native American. Do you live in cold weather? What do you fucking eat? How old are you? These are all things like for some, in fact, elderly people, they have a really hard time. Their body, their immune system is like, I'm done. Like, I'm not learning any new shit. It's really hard to get older people like over 65 and 70 to get any type of vaccine because their immune system just isn't, just doesn't want to fucking do anything about it.
No, well,
it just doesn't work. The immune system's like, no, fuck you, So what happens is when you inject this stuff, your immune system goes crazy. That's why you oftentimes will still get a fever. Your body temperature goes up. It's the immune system fighting, the virus because sometimes these viruses and stuff like that, they need a specific temperature in order to like live. And, your immune system going up, your freaking temperature goes up, so regardless of whether or not what they inject you with can actually harm you, which they can't in a virus, your immune system's still going to react. So you're still going to get all those sniffles and stuff like that anyway. The firm says no serious safety concerns have arisen during the trial, but the vaccine will come with side effects, at least for some, and the company will only be in the position to request approval for the vaccine on an emergency use basis after the 2 months of safety data showing its effects to be manageable. That requirement looks likely to be met in time for application for the third week of November. And they've already applied, so we're just waiting to hear back. Then comes a question of what exactly the vaccine does. Is it stopping infections completely, or is it doing like a sterilized immunity? So if it's stopping the infection, that means you never get sick. It's never in your body. But if it's a situation where it's still in your body, you just don't get symptoms, it helps your body fight it, that's not as good because you can still infect other people. So there's a lot of differences there. Just because you don't get sick doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing.
Spread it. And I also
So
was
this is going to
reading
be like a non-spread thing?
Well,
they don't know yet?
That's what they're trying to, right now they know nobody's gotten sick. Now you got to see a lot, exactly have that question
You're
answered.
not getting sick. You get how the asymptomatic people are.
Asymptomatic, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You could just create a bunch of asymptomatic people, but that means you can still affect somebody else. Yeah.
And also how long it would actually last in your body when you get vaccine.
Sure.
It could be a year or two.
You have to take it twice.
That's what they're saying.
Oh, whoa, a year for that vaccine? Just so you have to
They're
take
not
it every
really
year?
sure.
I mean, that's
exactly.
They're not really sure. They're thinking it's going to be a year. The Pfizer vaccine, so here's one of the negative things, really big negative, and this is where Moderna, lot better situation. The Pfizer vaccine, we'll talk about Moderna shortly. The Pfizer vaccine has some inconvenient characteristics. It needs to be kept at minus 70 Celsius. That's fucking cold. Or even colder as it is moved from where it is made to where it is used. What's minus, Lucas? Can you please?
Research
I should have this here. Minus Celsius. Is it 98?
Yeah, I saw it earlier.
Okay, so minus 98 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. So Seth Berkley, head of the vaccine finance group Gavi, warns that many countries do not currently have the wherewithal to meet that challenge. But he also noted that the lack is not insuperable. The Democratic Republic of Congo successfully deployed a Ebola vaccine that required similar special care. AstraZeneca, Moderna, and Pfizer all required 2 jabs weeks apart. So you got to get 2 of them. So it's not just one. One and done vaccine, which is what Johnson & Johnson hopes for, makes setting up vaccination programs far simpler. It also means a given number of doses will go a lot further. And that's one of the things they're trying to tackle in Africa with, Bill Gates and the infrared copper ink that they had put on you that everyone's like, it's a fucking microchip when it's not. The problem is when you're vaccinating people, if you got to get it 2 or 3 times, you need to be able to keep a record of that and figure out, okay, who came back and who didn't. If you didn't come back, you know, and when you're dealing with people that live in the middle of fucking nowhere, out in the boonies and shit, it's, you know, and especially in underdeveloped countries, they just don't have the technology or the infrastructure to track all that stuff. AstraZeneca has 2.4 billion doses ordered worldwide compared to 526 for Pfizer BioNTech. Survey of 20,000 adults in 27 countries undertaken for the World Economic Forum this August found that 74% would get a vaccine if it were available. In China, that figure was 97%, India 87%, and America only 67%. Fucking imagine that, because of all the damn rhetoric going over here. Countries with low rates of acceptance were Russia 54%, Poland and Hungary 56%, and France 59%. France, that's just kind of weird. So you're not in the you're not one of the outliers there. So I guess 33% of the people here in America are just fucking forget it.
They're not taking it.
No, they're just not going to do it. That's fine. Yeah, you only need, you need 2/3. So if 67% said they'd make it, technically that's enough for herd immunity. So we'll take it. So this is from the Moderna website. So this is the other company that got approval. Moderna vaccine reduced the rate of COVID-19 by 94%. So I think it was 95. That's a big fucking number, by the way. So what the CDC, all they wanted was 50%. If it's 50% effective, that's good enough for us.
What?
What's that?
They said 50% is fine.
Yeah, like think about it. If half the people you vaccinate can't fucking get it, that's a big fucking help right now. But 95%, that number is probably going to drop a little bit when they start, phase 4 or whatever. So 1 in 5 occurred in patients. 95 cases of infection occurred among patients in the 30,000 patient study. 1 in 5 of them occurred in patients who developed COVID-19 after receiving Moderna's vaccine. A lot of them got placebos as well. So Business Wire, November 16th, 2020, Moderna announced a new data showing that mRNA 1273, its COVID-19 vaccine candidate, remains stable at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, which is 36 to 46 Fahrenheit. So Moderna's is a lot better. You don't have to super freeze it. I could literally put it in my freezer right here and it would be completely stable. That's a big freaking difference. So what they're saying is use that in the smaller areas and the doctors and the rural areas that just don't have that super refrigeration, because they can only make so many doses of this freaking vaccine. So the fact that there's 2 different companies doing this, it's a little bit of a different story. Stability testing supports extension from earlier of 7 days. So it'll remain stable up to 6 months at -4 degrees Fahrenheit, up to 30 days refrigerated, and 12 hours at room temperature. So it's going to last a lot longer, which is awesome.
What do you think they're going to do? Are they going to be able to both give the vaccines, or are they just going to choose one company? How is that going to work?
No, they're all going to do it.
They're just all going to be like, and people are going to choose, or
I don't think you're going to get the choice. I think it's going to get divvied out based on need and based on infrastructure. If you don't have the ability to keep, this stuff at
$98,000.
Yeah, like super freezer,
and it fucks up. It's not easy to maintain.
No, and you can't fuck that up. Like if basically the way it works is they put the RNA together and they put like a shell around it, that's supposed to protect it, but it just doesn't stay together. Like it's just not meant to. So, and it's not to say that it completely falls apart, but it'll just start to disintegrate, start to biodegrade. Once it's in the body, the immune system is going to start attacking it. That's why I got to get it twice. And they say the second time, you don't, the symptoms that you get aren't quite as effective.
That's the whole thing. I don't want the symptoms.
It's crazy.
I don't like shit like that.
I don't get a test because, or the flu shot. So I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
I don't take flu shots either.
No. NPR.org. What
either.
What was it like to participate in a clinical trial for Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine? So journalist John Yang volunteered to take part in the phase 3 COVID-19 vaccine clinical trial for not altruistic reasons, but because he wanted to get the vaccine sooner rather than later. It started off with self-interest. I wanted to get the vaccine sooner, Yang, special correspondent for PBS NewsHour, tells NPR's All Things Considered. Great freaking show, by the way. One of the original, not original, but one of the great, audio programs. It's going to be AM radio, whatever. Then I found out that it was the Moderna trial, a new technology, one that has never been approved for a human vaccine before. So when you sign up, you don't know what you're going to get, but it's even more scary. It's not like you can research it and see, what are they going to get me with? So one that has never been approved, I said that, I got sort of excited. It sort of piqued the science nerd in me. Yang writes that he was also drawn to vaccine trials to participate because he is considered high risk for contracting severe COVID-19. He's over 60, has asthma and high blood pressure, and he's Asian. I don't know if Asians are higher risk, but maybe it is. I think my ethnicity was a big plus because they really do want to widen these tests to have participants of color, and they also wanted to find out if it was safe for people with asthma and people with high blood pressure. So Yang reports that 2 shots for a month apart. He said the first really wasn't that bad. He didn't feel any of the effects until the next day when he started experiencing mild achy joints and muscles, and then said fatigue was the main issue. The second shot really laid me low and very quickly. He tells NPR, Mary Louise Kelly, explaining that he experienced muscle and joint aches and a low fever, which came on fast in the first shot. Other participants also reported pain in the injection site, but as that came on a lot faster, it also resolved faster. I got the shot on Tuesday. By Thursday, I was fine. In the trial, Yang said he had a 50% chance of getting the vaccine, an outcome he really wanted, and a 50% chance of getting the placebo. When he got the side effects, he was all happy because I got the vaccine. He told NPR that he's happy he was able to get help science advance. So,
Why do they do the placebo?
So, wait, you say why?
Yeah.
Because there is scientific proof that you got something, it's going to help you.
Okay.
So 50% get the placebo, and what they'll find is, a lot of the placebo people ended up contracting it, and a lot of the people that actually got the vaccine didn't.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if you're at a large university, we're going to be able to reach a large number of people. That would make sense. You might consider distributing your ultra cold there. So what they're saying is, large university, you're going to bring in the ultra cold one, because they're going to have the infrastructure for it. And the one Moderna, which doesn't need to be kept so cold, that one you can distribute, to the smaller areas. So we'll see. Vaccines are on the way.
Yeah. It's just so wild that you have 2 different vaccines, but they're fighting the same. I don't know.
Well, it's not a fight. They're fighting the same battle, but they're not against each other.
Just
But
2
this
totally
is what
different ones. And
This is what we know about, though. We don't know about whoever else has them, because this is the companies that are basically.
Well, Russia has it, Sputnik 5. There's other companies out there.
Yeah, there's
That's what I'm
other-
saying.
yeah.
Like this, we're talking about these 2 right now, but
This
there's
is
plenty
this
of them.
technology. There's others that are doing the old school technology. There's others that are trying other new technologies as well.
There's so many.
it's wild.
It's all I can say is, at the end of the day, thank God we fucking got it.
Yeah.
So, people that want to get it, go for it. People that don't. I'll be honest. I'm not I gotta have it, and I would rather not get it. But if it gets to the point to where listen, you really should just fucking get it, I'm just gonna go fucking get it. I'll tell you, Elena's not gonna get it. Alicia definitely is not gonna get it, but I don't think Elena's gonna want to do it. So
My dad wants to do it.
sure, might as well.
So I'm actually not against it for him. He's 78.
Sure,
Man,
absolutely.
if I get it, do I not have to wear a mask anymore?
Right? Yeah, right. If you get it, you don't have to wear a mask.
Don't worry, I'm good.
You you get your freaking
I got the
give you,
vaccine. I'm
They
good.
give you a
Yeah.
license.
like a medallion you wear around your chest.
I'm good. Don't worry, I'm safe.
Yeah, totally.
Fuck.
All right, so we're gonna move on. So I told you guys I had a list for you, and so the list that we have is world's most challenging and treacherous journeys. So I wanted to put this one together because there's a lot of really cool freaking challenges out there and journeys and treks. I left out, Mount Everest and, some of the more known stuff, and Mount Everest. It's just obviously it's just too easy. So MapQuest and Outside Online is where I got all of this information. Well, pretty much almost MapQuest, right? Yeah. I saw it. I was like, wow, MapQuest.
I was making I was with somebody the other day. They're a little younger than I am. And
Sure.
I'm like, I remember when I used to be in Miami, I never used the map or the GPS. And then she's like, well, damn, you're old. I'm like, it wasn't there. She's like, how the fuck did you get it out? MapQuest.
Yeah.
Print that shit.
You
and
print
go.
that shit and take it with you. Totally.
Fuck. She's like, really? I'm like, yep.
I remember you used to print the directions and that's it.
Yep.
Yep.
Freaking A. All
and
right.
you paid attention.
Oh, you sure did.
Now I don't pay attention.
Now, dude, that's the thing. We don't know how to get, we don't know how to get anywhere because we're constantly being led.
Yeah. Go.
All right. So the first one, Kokoda Trek. This is Papua New Guinea. So I got 6 on the list and covering a broad range. So this trek is a World War II site where Japanese and Australian fighters battled it out on the front lines. Beside the ghosts you might find along the way, this one is a tough trek that takes anywhere from 4 to 10 days to complete. Hostile and remote are the 2 words most often used to describe this trail. And if something goes wrong out here, it could be a very long time before someone finds you. The trail leads you into the heart of the Owen Stanley range of mountains where deep, dark gorges block out sunlight, lush green vegetation grows, and narrow crests offer passage. Hot, humid days coupled with frigid nights make this trek suitable for only the fittest of hikers. Health threats include malaria and other tropical diseases are very real here. Foreign insects, wildlife, and poisonous plants also make up the landscape. Despite the numerous dangers, rushing streams with single log crossings and spectacular views of the valleys and rivers make this an unforgettable experience. The route lay almost dormant until the past decades when adventurous trekkers discovered the 60-mile-long connecting mile slog connecting the outskirts of Port Moresby into the village of Kokoda. In 2009, 13 people died in a plane crash en route to the trailhead, and 4 more hikers died on the trail, which takes 11 days to complete. They face malaria, extreme heat, frigid nights, and daily bone-soaking afternoon rains. The route itself has been called Stairmaster in a steam room with ankle-deep clay muck, slippery roots, and potions. Yeah, you know, potions.
Can you move a little bit to the right?
Let me do this.
To
There
the
we
left,
go.
to the left.
So, and then, so the 3-day tour, 9-day tour that they offer, how much would you say that it costs?
A person?
Person.
10 grand.
10 grand. Remember, this isn't
Wait,
America.
where is this?
You said 10? I'm
No,
gonna
no.
say
I don't think it's 10. I'm taking it back because it's not in America. It's probably like a grand.
A grand.
I'm gonna
A
say
grand plus your own cost of things.
I feel like it's gonna be something crazy. I'm gonna say
grand plus your-
500.
$500. Okay.
Like your
Lucas, what do you think?
Probably in that 8 to 1,000 range.
Look at 8 to 1,000 range.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, tour is $19.99 for 3 days and $38.90 for 9 days. Pretty much covers everything: the tour, the people. You know, there's lodges you can stay in along the way. So there's,
so it's not.
huh?
It's like 11 days, like stop and go.
Well, 9 days for $4 grand though. That's not bad. It take a long time to get there. There's others on this list I feel like I'd rather participate in. That's for sure. So number 2, El Caminito del Rey, and this is in Spain. So let me get back to the pictures here. So this one is one of the world's scariest hikes in the world.
Oh, whoa.
And it's called Little King's Path. The decrepit pathways run alongside the Guadalhorce River Gorge, hang 100 feet off the sheer cliffs. These pathways were made by hydroelectric workers over 100 years ago and tattered safety ropes to help the guides. Vertigo is a main source of fear with this trek. If you don't like heights, you might want to sit this one out. For now, bring your rope along if you want to challenge the spots where the concrete has fallen. It has since been restored. Benefit from personalized attention and the ability to travel at your own pace on this private tour of Caminito del Rey. Trek along the route's hanging bridges, canyon, and cliffs while listening to insightful commentary from your guide. Ensure you don't miss the highlights of the route by traveling with a guide who knows the ins and outs, including the Hoyo Valley and the Guetenejos cliffs. So this is, this one's pretty fucking cool. This one I feel like we could all participate in.
Nope.
You can see they got you can see they got the guide rope there. I mean, there's some crazy spots that are like, holy shit. But, I feel like we could do this.
Yeah, but when you climb alone.
No,
Like,
you
at
get a
least on the
guide. You
other
get a
one.
guide.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, yeah.
But they got a rope.
But they have, you can see right here,
Yeah,
there's
but
like
look how
a,
high.
yeah.
I don't
You
think I
gotta be
could
a
do
climber. You can't just.
No,
gotta
I mean,
know.
do you think she looks like a climber?
Well, it
She's
looks
not
like they're just walking. Like maybe
That's
it's
somebody
just
that does shit
visiting.
like that, Seth. All right, that's
I
not a
don't
regular
know.
person.
I feel like
That's
we
not
could do it. I
I
feel like
think
we
that's
could
just
do
the
it.
walking tour around, and then you have the climbing part.
So how much do you guys think this one is? This one, once again, this one's, a couple hours,
Where's that?
few hours. This is in Spain. This you can do in, like I said,
500.
500?
No, it's gonna be more than that. You could die. Like, oh. And it has to be safe, right?
Of course it has to be
I'm
safe.
keeping
$500. Okay.
Nah, it's gonna be
That's
like
my
$6
number.
grand.
$6,000?
Yeah.
Lucas?
How many days?
No, it's like I said, you can
Couple
do it.
hours.
You can do it in a few hours.
Oh no. I don't know.
200-300.
200-300?
Yeah.
Although you're closest. It's actually $150 with a guided tour. $150. I feel like we could do this one. Just saying.
No, I feel like a regular person could do this, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Oh, come on.
Like I don't give a fuck about heights, but that type of height, no. I'm good.
Okay. So Drakensberg. So Drakensberg's Towers. This is in South Africa. Our next tough trek comes to us from South Africa and is a combination of tough and long. This trek ranges between 220 to 240 kilometers, about 150 miles or so, and is lacking a prescribed route or marked trail. The first day of the trek is spent clambering up rickety chain ladders that take you to the ridge. And that's the chain ladders. The whole first day is just getting to the top so you can actually keep going. Animal tracks, footprints, and rocks at the top will get you going the right way. Intense hills, windy conditions, snow, and mud all await you on this trek, along with danger of thieves who also set out to steal from unsuspecting campers. You have to be completely self-sufficient on this hike. No checkpoints, no facilities, no markers. Ensure that you're on your own and you must be fully prepared. Altitude sickness, cold weather, and uneven terrain are also just a slice of what awaits. But the views of the towering waterfalls, the sun rising over the breathtaking landscape below, and the stop at enormous rock formation, the amphitheater, makes this hike hard to pass up. So this one, I'll just jump in. 4 nights, bed and breakfast accommodation with private guest lodges. Gives you 2 dinners and packed lunches. Going to be $550 per person.
How long is this one?
This one, well, it's up to 240 kilometers, 150 miles, but you can do shorter ones. And this shows you the altitude over the kilometers. So the graph on the bottom there. So remember, you start by going up these chain ladders, and it's just up and down and up and down and up and down. So this one, once again, is,
And once you go, you're on your own.
well, unless you get a tour, you can get guides. So, but like I said, the one that I saw was a 4-day, 4-night, 5-day, 4-night excursion. But $550, I feel like, that one's not too bad. All right, this one, number 4, the Maze. This one's in Utah. This one's really cool. There were a lot here in America, but this one was the only one that I was like, all right. So the most remote section of Canyonlands National Park, Canyonlands National Park, receives about 2,000 visitors per year, and it's not because it isn't worth visiting. The red rock labyrinth known as the Maze is difficult to reach, almost impossible to navigate, and full of dead-end gullies. It always presents the danger of deadly flash floods as well. So with that, the sheer danger of the place, which rangers emphasize to any visitors, insisting on detailed itineraries and good communication. So before they even let you in the park, they want to make sure you've got it planned out, make sure you have your shits together, you have a plan of how you're going to go, you have enough rations, all that stuff. So that is how they were to keep the death area to 0. There was a double suicide in the summer 2013. That's about it. Deaths and accidents in the rest of Canyonlands, however, are very regular occurrence. So here, not a lot because it's highly sought or overlooked after to make sure people are safe. But look at that, man. It's so cool. Yeah. The Maze is the least accessible district of the Canyonlands. Due to the district's remoteness and difficulty of roads and trails, travel to the Maze requires more time. Visitors must be prepared for self-sufficiency and the proper equipment or gear for self-rescue. Rarely do visitors spend less than 3 days in the Maze and easily can absorb a week on the long trip. We strongly recommend using a map to reach the Maze. GPS units frequently lead people astray. So, and you can see here, there's actually old, maybe Clovis or whatever, but, these old artwork and stuff in the mountains and stuff like that. So 5-day tour for that one's $1,250. So that's here. I mean, we could probably do that one. That would be a cool one, right?
Yeah, I like the one before.
You
the
like the one-
Africa.
That South Africa one? Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one, the luscious green, that one seems, what do you think? So do you feel like you guys would do this one?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Laz, which one would you do? Good Lord.
Come on,
The
do
one
the
that I
South
said I
Africa.
wouldn't
I know
do-
this is white folk stuff, but come on.
It's not. No, I'm good, bro. Straight. I'm not on that. The one where I would do the one where they had the rope where they were going around. The one we were talking about how the lady looked like she could climb.
Sure.
That one, but
Yeah.
Oh, in Spain.
Spain.
yeah, but,
That'd be cool.
but
all right.
nah, this is too open. The
Okay.
couple hour thing is fine. You do have
Sure.
fun to go back, but like the 4 day
5
thing,
days. Yeah. I hear you. All right.
Well, that's just camping.
Yeah. All right. Number 5. Oh, let me get this. There we go. Here we go. Number 5, Via Ferrata, Italy and Australia. Europeans in the 15th century once called the Via Ferrata, Italian for iron way with ladders, and the route was later used during World War I by specialized troops. So soldiers would use this shit. Today, routes through the Dolomites are much more accessible thanks to new steel cables, ropes, wooden walkways, and suspension bridges. The routes and cables were all well maintained, but your safety hinges on snapping and specialized carpenter setup called the Via Ferrata set to anchor onto the cable supports. Then you'll scale sheer faces and edges all around tall ledges. Deaths have happened on all routes of all difficulty levels under the variety of circumstances. In 2009, one British woman plunged to her death on an intermediate hike after slipping on snow and falling 600 feet. Another death in Austria happened because of a gear failure. So,
No.
no? Dude, look at that picture. Could you imagine? You're looking down like, fuck that, bro.
No,
Like-
no.
I'm good.
Uh-uh.
It's
That
just
one
over
is
2
just
miles
not-
long.
How much is that one?
So just over 2
one's-
miles long, depending on the
free.
group size. 189. What's that?
I was like, it's free. You want to die? Go.
I know it's like what, $100?
So 189 to $359 per person, depending on how big your group is.
How long
Look
does it
at
take, you
this. It's just
No.
over 2 miles long.
That's no.
2 miles.
no.
I'm sure it takes a long
And
time.
there's anything safe about
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I mean, yeah. You can see the big iron spikes.
They have helmets.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. Dude.
It's completely safe. There's going to been a few.
I
deaths.
couldn't do this one. And then we saved
No.
Like when you're crossing this right here,
sure.
or like you're walking around, are you harnessed?
Yeah,
or-
you're harnessed.
Still.
You can see the steel ropes
Oh,
and stuff like that.
I wouldn't mind that then.
I would.
You're hard- you're
No,
hard-
the
you're
other
not
one,
gonna
the one in
fall.
Spain, I think we could do that.
This doesn't look safe.
This one, forget it.
No, but you're on the little rope thing. You're good.
Yeah, but look at
do
the
I have to keep
difference
They're
between
moving?
standing
Spain and
on
that one.
spikes sticking out of the fucking mountain.
No.
It's not like
Yep.
they're standing on a rope.
Do you have to?
The Spain one looked much better.
Sure.
Do
Agreed.
you have to keep reharnessing yourself at each?
Of course,
location?
yeah.
Nah, I'm
You
straight.
got two. You got two. So this one unhooks, hook it in, bring this one around. You can move along. And you just got to keep
Have
going
you done
like
this
that.
before?
No.
No, I mean not that one. I mean like in general.
No,
like-
I've rappelled, but I've never done this. No. But
Rappel-
this, I'm down for this. What's that?
Repelled who?
Your joke, bro.
it's funny though.
Yeah.
You're a hater.
All right, so Death Trail. This is the last one. So this one's a doozy. So what is this is Mount Huashan in China, home to what is known as the world's most dangerous hiking trail in the world. Mount Huashan stands 2,154 meters, or just over 7,000 feet tall, and is the most precipitous mountain under heaven. All trails up the mountain tend to be treacherous and dangerous, with narrow vertical staircases and a few handholds, but none as deadly as the Plank Trail on the South Mountain. Appropriately called Death Trail, it is comprised of a narrow passages made of wooden platforms that are nailed to the mountainside. Getting to the trail is hard enough, making visitors climb up a vertical rebar staircase. Rusty chains, handles, worn wooden planks, and altogether the absence of planks make this one treacherous trek. Very, very difficult. Couple that with overflowing amount of people that come to climb here, especially in the summer, when they come to climb the historic Taoist monasteries at the dangerous increase. So pilgrims have climbed to the temples on the 5 spires of Mount Huashan for centuries, Trekkers need to hook into an iron chain paralleling the boards and hover thousands of feet above the ground. At one point, the planks disappear entirely, and hikers must use small divots carved into the rock. So at one point, there's no planks. There's literally like divots that are dug into the rock or chiseled into the rock that you can put your fucking feet on. There are no official death statistics, but rumor is that 100 people die every year. Multiply that over the centuries, and it may be the deadliest peak in the world.
Yeah, look at it.
Dude.
Oh, I really want to go on this one. This is my favorite.
The paths have been reinforced due to recent influx of adrenaline rush seeking mountain hiking tourists, but they are nonetheless dangerous and carry a reputation for fatal falls. So first of all, you got to take a cable car all the way up, and it's about $250 for a guided tour for this one. So, and this one's actually a part of that. These two were not. So, but still, dude. So this one, I don't know. No. I feel like the only one I would do is Spain.
Screwed in the no. And
but you can see they got the double harness. So they unhook one and they got to unhook.
Yeah, but look at it. It doesn't look safe.
And look at these fucking people.
Look at the
it's
wood.
Like grandma just chilling.
What do you enjoy? You don't know.
And this is what they're talking about, going all the way up to these monasteries there at the top of the mountain.
That I will do. I would walk up. But
well, it's all part of it. I don't know. Maybe there's more difficult treks. God, just walking up there though. Good Lord.
They probably have another way to get up there.
All right, Lucas, which one are we doing? What do you think? Spain? I think we could all do Spain.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so that's pretty much it. Those are some of the most interesting, dangerous, treacherous treks the world has to offer. There are so many out there, but I thought these were definitely the most interesting. There's some that's like, you'll face bears and you got to be a ice climber and all that crap. So yeah, no fun there. All right, well, that being the case, I think we're going to take our last little break here, and we're going to come back with beef, with Lucas's weather. We got a little bit of updates. So any last minute thoughts? Anyone? Anyone? All right, cool. We'll be right back. Boom. So we're back, and I think we're gonna just jump right into Lucas's weather. So, Lucas, do you have your weather ready?
Yes, I do.
Oh, snap!
Research Lucas with the weather.
All right, you seem to be pretty excited. So, Lucas, what do we have for the weather this week?
This week we have Shirtlessville, PA.
Shirtlessville?
Shirtless. Well, that's what I'm assuming. It's SHART.
Wow.
Short.
Where?
Pennsylvania.
Charlottesville, Pennsylvania. I believe it's Pennsylvania.
It's actually not that far from me.
Oh, really? Well, not that far from you is Gap, Blue Balls. What else? There's
Virginville, Bird in Hand,
Bird
in Hand.
Yeah. There's some weird. Just realized I don't have my fucking hat on. I look like fucking Jesus. I look like McFly from the fucking Back to the Future. McFly. Yeah, here we go. put on my cool BWSS hat. There we go. Good Lord. All right. So this is what, southeastern Pennsylvania?
Actually, southeast, but it's way north, kind of like central.
What?
Southeast,
Way
but
north.
it's way
Way
north.
north.
So, and kind of like central Pennsylvania. Okay. So
Yeah.
that explains everything. All right. Fucking dork. So, Charlottesville, Pennsylvania.
Can't
I
save
guess.
me this time.
What's that?
I said I can't save him this time.
No, there's no saving him from this one. So, all right. So, I guess what are we gonna do? Are we gonna start with Tuesday?
Sure. Tuesday, November 24th. High of 45, low of 32. Partly cloudy with 0% chance of precipitation with the winds coming out of the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour. Wednesday, November 25th. High of 52, low of 47. Mostly cloudy with a chance of precipitation of 20% with the winds coming out of the south-southeast at 10 miles per hour. Thursday, November 26th. High of 59, low of 42. Rain in the morning with a chance of precipitation at 60%. Winds coming out of the west at 6 miles per hour.
Okay.
Friday, November 24th. High 57, low of 41. Partly cloudy with a chance of precipitation of 10% with the winds coming out of the west-northwest at 6 miles per hour.
Okay.
And finish out with Saturday, November 28th. High of 54, low of 37. Partly cloudy with a chance of precipitation at 20% with the winds coming out of the west-northwest at 7 miles per hour.
All right. So that's it.
Research
Wow,
Lucas
thanks.
with the winner.
She said
I
thanks.
think that was the least
Wow.
enthusiastic thing she
Like-
said all day.
Thanks. She said thanks. Oh God, that's awesome. All right. Well, yeah. Lucas, thanks for the weather. You
You're
know,
welcome.
it's pretty awesome. So all right. So we're gonna jump into
What? You
beef.
got beef?
So, the only person here who has beef to talk about is going to be Elodie. So, Elodie,
What? You got beef?
what's your beef?
I got beef with Hyundai, with my
Hyundai.
car again and
Okay,
again.
sure, yeah.
I don't know what to do. It started the rotors.
You got it in 2019, was it?
Yes.
How long have you had it?
A year.
A year, okay.
and 2 months.
So you had to get new rotors. You had to get a new compressor for your AC. What were a couple of the other
we
problems?
did the brakes.
Brakes.
We
That's
had
rotors.
to change the lights from the brakes.
Okay.
My horn,
Okay.
which I didn't know you can do. And now I just got a...
Wait, the horn didn't work?
No,
Okay.
it just went from really high to really low.
Did something happen?
Well, that's I don't know anymore. I don't know. So we changed that, and now I got a recall for the ABS, and my car is actually in that recall.
Okay.
So I got beef.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, the last recall, they wouldn't take your car, right?
Right.
Okay, so now there's another recall and it's for something completely different.
The brakes.
Okay, so how are things going with your lemon law? Because I know it's something you've been fighting, but you're having an issue with it.
So the lemon law now was accepted,
Okay.
but now they are going with Hyundai. So it's between Hyundai, this is what I want, and Hyundai said, no, you're
Sure.
not getting it.
Okay,
And I said, well, I don't want that. So now we're just keep going. And hopefully with this,
so do you have a lawyer that's speaking with Hyundai? Okay, so it's basically the two of them just coming to an accord, if
and
you will.
in between, I keep adding little things. This is what happened. The
Sure.
horn happened.
Well, now, so you're hoping with this, you'll finally just be able to fucking
Take the car.
Take the car.
Take
Sure.
the
You
car.
barely drive, right? You don't you're not everywhere.
I mean,
with the
look,
car.
I go to work, and then if I do, I go see my parents.
and work is
Damn.
right there.
Work is right there. And my car is parked under parking. There's no wind, no water, no for the brakes or anything.
Sure. Damn. Well,
What? You
So I got beef.
that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Well,
One-year-old
so
car.
when
Fucking A.
did this last recall happen?
a week ago.
Okay. So, all right. Well, let's see what happens. We're certainly rooting for you. Good Lord.
Fuck
Yeah,
that.
I
Yeah.
deserve this one.
You have
All
a
right.
Hyundai. It's one of your cars, the Hyundai, right?
Who, me?
And I have to go
Yeah.
No,
all the
mine
way
is.
to Deerfield
Sure.
to get it fixed every time I have to go. So
That
it takes
sucks.
an hour. You're there for a couple hours.
Dude, the freaking. So I don't know if I told you guys. Remember, I had beef with Lexus in North Miami, and it's the reason because I couldn't schedule anything online and couldn't get through, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And so I finally go there. I get the appointment. I go there, and it was just fucking amazing. So, first of all, I go in the room, like this and that, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, oh, the oil change. Well, you need to do your $25,000 mile, service. And my whole thing is I just want to get the oil change, get the fuck out of there. And so I have a service plan when I bought the car. So that's actually free for that. So the oil change I got to pay for, but the services are free. So I was like, all right, fine. So they're like, don't worry, we'll give you a car. So they gave me a car. I was like, can I get, instead of an SUV, can I just get like a car? So, and dude, they gave me like the 2020, like whatever. So I drop it off. The car comes back. It's just fucking amazing. And the Lexus is right fucking there. But you having to deal with all that crap. I have a Hyundai. So the other car, the car they use for work, and so far it's been fucking amazing. It's got
I've
some
never had a
dings.
problem before. My
Sure.
car before, I had for 3, and then the year before I had for 8 years, and a
Sure.
friend bought it, and I think it's still working.
Sure.
But I'm
I
not
don't think
sure.
he has it anymore.
Sure.
Well, but yeah, he had it for a while though.
Damn.
So
It was a
and-
Hyundai too.
Yeah.
I
So
would-
I don't know. Obviously, it's just there's
You got a
something with it,
defective one.
and they
Love
don't want
mine.
to take it back. They don't want to do anything. The car's fine.
Well, hopefully you'll get your fucking wish and they just take the fucking car back and you can just do something else.
Oh, yeah.
Get something else.
Yeah.
So it's fucking crazy. It's
Yeah,
like
it
me,
sucks.
I jumped from car to car. I don't give a fuck.
And
Yeah.
every dealer is different because they're privately owned. So, like
Yeah,
I said,
exactly.
Raymond, 0.
Sure.
I have everything about them. They're rude. They whatever they did to my rotors the first time is because of them.
Sure. Damn.
So we'll leave it to that. So
Fucking
I
A.
got beef.
So now you're out. They lost the customer. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, big
You know when you
time.
get a long customer, like nobody really buys the
No,
same
they
type of
don't.
car all the time. So it's like
And my brother has same one, and he just got another one. So the family,
the family's out.
Yeah, your brother as well. That's right. I forgot.
and he's having problems with his too. He got a recall, and his car is accepted for the recall.
Well, my Lexus had a recall also. Recalls are just,
That's
Yeah, I
right.
know, but
Everybody
it's
has
just
recalls,
it's
but
just all
the
happening.
way they treat you is
mine was a door handle though. It's not like, brakes or anything like that.
Even your air conditioning blowing.
Sure. That's ridiculous. In this day and age. I got a couple updates here. Actually, I have one that I have here, but also remember Kenosha shooter Kyle Rittenhouse? He posted $2 million bail.
Oh man.
$2 million posted the freaking bail. So, and how can you, Lucas, can you look up how much he's
Research
raised?
Lucas.
My guess is by now it's more than that because that's definitely where the money, by the time when we were first talking about it, he had over $700,000 at his disposal. And that was only like at max a week later. So by now he probably has a ton of, I can't believe so many people are donating money to this kid who just took a fucking automatic rifle, went over the fucking border and just started shooting people, whether they were attacking him or not. 17-year-old fucking kid. And now, like, he just has so much money being given to him and posted a $2 million fucking bail.
That's scary.
crazy.
That is scary.
That's scary.
What's scary?
That's just scary.
Completely. But what's scary is he can claim self-defense because he didn't shoot until he was attacked.
Yeah.
So it's fucking crazy. New York Times, U.S. to drop case against Mexican ex-official to allow inquiry into Mexico. Remember we talked about the Mexican Godfather. So long story short, he was the defense secretary for Mexico, and they knew that this, U.S. intelligence knew that there was this Godfather out there. They didn't know who it was, and there was some people that they were wiretapping who ended up saying the Godfather was just on TV, that did some research and found that it was him, arrested him in fucking California, and he was allegedly sending the military to rival cartels, diverting military away from like shipments, in addition to a whole bunch of other shit. So we dropped all fucking charges. Here you go. The Justice Department, and they arrested him, what was it, 2 weeks ago in, I think, California Airport, LA Airport, probably LAX. So the Justice Department has asked federal judge to drop drug trafficking and corruption charges against a former Mexican defense minister to allow Mexican officials to investigate him. Attorney General William P. Barr announced Tuesday, an abrupt reversal a month after the official was arrested in Los Angeles. The move raised questions about why the Justice Department would hand over the matter to a country with a shoddy record of investigating high-profile cases tied to organized crime. In a court filing, prosecutors acknowledged that the Trump administration had determined that preserving its relationship with Mexico prevailed over pursuing the case. So they're going to, like, just let this guy go back to fucking Mexico.
Fuck, dog. They're all part of that shit. They're all part of it.
How do you... I don't know. I mean, it's Trump. I guess that's one way you do it because I don't know. Like, I can agree with his reasoning. We want to be close with Mexico. We want to, okay, fine. But, man, the whole reason Guzman, El Chapo's in fucking prison right now is because they extradited him here. Yeah. He escaped prison 2 fucking times. And that there's people that are loyal to him and maybe even have helped him within the army.
That was running looking for himself
Secretary
while he was himself.
Yeah, looking for his fucking self the whole time. Say they'll never, I'll never catch me. Fucking A.
Oh, man. Good luck.
Also with the Kenosha shooter, the My Pillow CEO also helped raise money for him. I didn't find it.
My Pillow? My Pillow?
My Pillow, dude.
Yeah. Wow. He got a lot of backlash for that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because isn't he in for like tax evasion or not paying his taxes or something?
I have no idea. But that's a precipitous fall from grace for sure. So, all right. Well, I think that's about it. Anybody last minute thoughts? Anyone?
I'll say happy birthday to my friend Brandy. She listens to the show.
Do you want to sing? Do you want to sing for her?
Hell no.
Go ahead, Luke. Laz, go for it.
Go ahead, Lucas.
Go ahead, Seth. That's your weakness.
Hey, I try.
I'll sing happy birthday.
Will you really?
What's her name?
Brandy.
All right.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brandy. Happy birthday to you.
So sweet.
It's a special day.
Dude, I love how sound effects can just ruin everything.
That's fucking
so
hilarious.
Happy birthday, Brandy. That's pretty awesome. Who's Brandy again? Your friend of yours?
Yeah, a friend of mine. She listens to the show religiously.
Really?
So.
Nice.
She even asked, like, oh, did he have tints on his Monte Carlo? I'm like, oh, so you really listen. Like,
Do they have what?
Because you were talking about your car, and she used to have a Monte Carlo, and she was like, did you have tints on yours? And then so she listens, which is great.
Car.
Yeah.
I don't have tints like the car that I have now. I don't have tints in the front 2 windows. I want to get them.
Yeah.
So in the back it's cool, but not on the front. Factory shit. So, all right. So anyone else? Any last minute thoughts?
I'm just do a small shout out. Still feeding South Florida on Saturdays. If you go on their website, they do it Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Special this week because it's Thanksgiving. If you know anyone, it's amazing.
Sure.
Free food. Just come. Feeding South Florida.
Awesome. All right. Feeding South Florida. Right. FeedingSouthFlorida.com. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I guess that's it. We got Seth in mic 1. We got Laz in mic 2.
Yo.
We got Lucas in mic 3.
Hey.
And he just almost forgot. And then we got Elodie in mic 4. Back at it again. Checking herself out on the screen.
I love it. It's great.
All right. And we'll see. Oh, there goes. Oh, Laz, he's just so close. It's like I'm just going to pull him off.
I'll just
Just giving yourself a little caress, across the cheeks.
He was fixing them.
There you go. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Boom.
Bye.